Recording. Awesome. How you doing, sweets?
I'm all right. What's the name?
I can't hear you.
Oop.
Why is my camera
Can you
not
hear
on?
me? Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yay. We're still learning this.
Yeah.
But
I
hey,
think that
y'all.
the
So
rest.
I have got. I can't hear you at all. I don't know why. I've got a candle. Got an orange candle. We are doing. There you go, darling. We got an orange candle. I've got some cinnamon as well for the, but you can just light your candle.
Yeah.
And I've got my oil. And
1 minute. I think. Oh.
yeah. It's recording. I don't know what happened there. Went off. Oops. So we learned to rejoin the recording. It goes out. So I am recording this so that we can. So if you are watching this later on, happy Mabon celebration. So this is the time of the autumn equinox, and we celebrate. Hey, Cece. Hi,
Hi
sweet.
again.
So I don't know what happened there. It kind of like, I don't know, just stopped. We're learning. It's still, we're on a learning curve with this, right?
Yeah.
We are in Mabon. This is autumn equinox time, and it is a special time of the season where we give thanks. This is like where the whole Thanksgiving came, when we are in church and we have Thanksgiving. And it's brilliant. Hey, Michelle. How's everybody? I know people are trying to join. Hi, Jade. So this is the time of year that the church took as a Thanksgiving or fall festival. I'm going to see if I can do this. You know that last time we could just move it. No, we can't. So this is a time for a fall festival. The churches took this on as harvest festival, which is kind of interesting because Mabon is actually celebrating some of the darker goddesses like Hecate. Um, don't know what happened, but they said that someone ended the video. So don't touch. If you have an end button at the top of your screen, please don't touch it. What I'll do in the future when it's like this, I'm going to do it as a webinar, and you will see me as a webinar rather than the group chat that we used to on Messenger, so that we can get the lesson done, and then we can watch it back later on if you need to. And then we won't have the whole people ending the videos on. I don't know how that's happening, but somehow it's happening. So let's go back. Mabon was the harvest festival created by, it was Mabon, and then the churches took it on as harvest festival. So in America, there's a lot of pumpkins. Here, there's a lot of like wheat sheaves that will be happening, being put up. This was the time where they took dried wheat and made corn dollies, as a token of fertility, etc. They all had different meanings. Some of them protected the doors. If you see the ones with like made out of like the cross, it protects the door, it protects the home, and it's a brilliant way of protection on the wheat, because wheat means fertility and money, etc. So that's really good. I think Michelle's having problems joining. She joined, I could see like the messages. Yeah, so next time I'll just do this as a webinar and have it as a teaching. This is a learning curve, right? Because I want to be able to put these up into the tribe so that if anybody misses it, they can watch it later on, which is kind of cool, which we don't have that facility on Messenger, right? So that being said, we're talking about the goddesses like Hecate, or the ones that are coming into the fore next month in October. We have the 31st, and the 31st, of course, is all what's called All Hallows, and then we're celebrating goddesses like Goddess Hel. This one is more Hecate, Morgana, Goddess Diana. We've got Persephone going back into the underworld. We have so much history and stories of goddesses that are either on the dark side, coming through for winter and protecting us through this darker time, this colder time. But that being said, we also now give thanks. So we are giving thanks for harvest. This is a time of inner reflection. So what did we harvest through in the summer? What did we bring to the fall? Normally we could say quite a bit, right? But towards the end of the summer, we've had so many planetary retrogrades that communication, technology, emails, recordings, because we're in Mercury shadow right now, until the end of this week, and then it completely clears out. But we have many of the planets currently in retrograde. So if you've been struggling to push through, struggling to get momentum, this could be why at the end of summer. But all those seeds that you planted at the beginning of summer are now actually coming to harvest for you. So any intentions that you put out, any manifestations that you were really pushing out and growing and expanding, this is a time when you can start to harvest all of that and to bring it in. So if you was looking for a job, it will start around now. If you were looking for abundance or money, it will start to flow in for you now, especially the end of this week with Mercury turning direct. You'll be able to communicate out. If you were looking, or if you're starting to look for a job, this would be the week to start doing it later on in the week. Or start sowing little seeds. Because what we're doing right now, if you had a garden, big garden, some of those bulbs you would be planting in this season for them to flower in spring. So if you were thinking of planting your garden, you would start thinking of putting in hyacinths, snowdrops, daffodils, everything to start flowering in February, depending on where you are, obviously, in the world. So here in the UK, if I was to start planting hyacinths now, they'd start coming up in February. Snowdrops come up in February, and then they'd start all coming, grape hyacinths, daffodils, April, bluebells, April, May. So what we're planting now, which we still can do, because this is a beautiful earth, and we can plant different things at different times of the season for it to actually flower and manifest later on. Just because it's darkness now, right, doesn't mean to say, oh, that we're going into the darkness now, doesn't mean to say that we can't still plant right now. So the end of the week is a perfect time to start planting your abundance. Plus, not only that, but we have a full moon coming up at the end of this week as well. And the full moon is going to be really potent. So this Mabon time is a time for harvesting in whatever you might have planted last spring or last summer. We harvest it, we say thank you, we give blessings for it. With that said, we say thank you, but also think, right, of the colors of this time of year. So when we're looking at trees, the leaves are turning gold, copper colors, oranges, all delicious colors of wealth, money, finance, because we still have greenery, like the holly bushes, they're still there. But when we start looking at the tones and the hues and the colors of ivy growing, some of it is absolutely stunning. So we are harvesting those as well, which is why we brought an orange candle. When we look at some of the goddesses, yes, we can look at Hecate and Morgana, etc., the darker goddesses right now. But also what we can do is look on the other side of Mabon, which is all about Goddess Diana with her cornucopia, Goddess Abundantia, right? She has her cornucopia. So different goddesses around the world hold a cornucopia, which is that horn of plenty. And you'll have seen the picture of it. It's like a wicker horn with spilling out apples and all the harvest is made of it's made of straw, because we are reaping in the fields of the hay, the straw, the wheat, everything, the oats, for the winter coming up for us to make bread, etc. So with that, the cornucopia horn is made of the wheat. And inside it are all the fruit and the vegetables that we would now be harvesting, i.e. root vegetables. We're looking at carrots, right? Sorry, the video is like, I'm going to get used to this. It's not mirrored. It's weird. So, and I go, hi, it's like completely different. So, we've got carrots, parsnips, root vegetables. We're talking about grounding. We're talking about the earth chakra, which is brown, which is below our feet, to become grounded in this. So when we're looking at the blessings, these are the blessings of being grounded in our totality of what we are, what we know, and what we do, and what we bring, and manifesting. So we're looking at these colors. Parsnip, carrot, oranges. You look at all the root vegetables, right, that we have on our table. They are all corresponding to those leaves that are turning on the trees, right, if you think about it. And this is how it all connects. We go really deep into this. We understand we are now connecting with our earth chakra. We are connecting with our root vegetables. We are connecting with our trees and our plants that are dying, making way as we harvest in. And with this, we are going into a deeper frequency. Everyone's talking about a higher frequency, which is a whole other topic, which I could go into, and Mira knows this, right? We could heavily go into all of this today, but we're not going to. We are going to celebrate Mabon. If you can hear anything in the background, I want it to be up in the woods because it's grounding today for this Mabon celebration. I want I want it to be up here because I want it to be grounded. I want it to be very earth-based. I could have gone down on the beach, but they're having motorbike races today. But it seems better to actually have it in the woods. So I brought an orange candle, and if you don't have one, don't worry. You can have a white candle, etc. So don't stress about it. I am doing this for the sisterhood. So even if you don't have a candle, don't worry. It's going to be all inclusive. Yay! Mia's got a candle, CC. Like, yay! We got our orange candle. Woo! I swear, I'm going to get used to this in a minute. This whole... So, normally it's like Instagram is just like all flowing. It's kind of weird and off-putting, but I get used to it. So I brought my coconut oil because I love coconut oil. So I brought coconut oil, my oil, and cinnamon. You don't need to have these ingredients. You can just light your candle. That's why I was like, don't need any ingredients. Just bring your orange candle because it's just the intention. At the end of the day, I once met, and I think I've told this before, I once met this amazing woman who in New York for the sound for it was for Halloween. And they were having a festival in Smithtown in a hotel in New York. And I met Elaine McCoy, who's an amazing high priestess in New York City. And she'd been a high priestess of covens in New York, and she had written books. If you go on Amazon, and still, sadly, Elaine has still, she's no longer with us in the physical realm. She's now in the spiritual realm. But she's an amazing woman, and I talked to her, and she wrote so many books on witchcraft and on candle magic and herbs and spices and how to cleanse your house and home. And there was just so many in-depth recipes that she gave for spell work. But I met her and I said to her, you know, I have been practicing for many years, well, basically since I was a child. And I said to her, at the end of the day, we can use these candles and we can use these herbs, etc. Now, when we're ingesting, it's a completely different thing. Okay, if we're making a liqueur or we're having an oil that you roll on, completely different. That does physically affect our body, correct? But when I talked to her, I said, when we are looking at doing candle magic, and we have those altars, and some of them on Instagram are just freaking amazing when you look at what they're doing. The aesthetics are brilliant. However, all this is a tool for you to be able to concentrate on what you're doing and what you're bringing in and what you're manifesting in. When we look at the color, we are vibrating on the frequency of that color, just like angels vibrate on the ray of light. So if we're talking to Yehudi, like, etc., then purple or red. If we're talking to Michael, then it's blue. And so those candles are going to coordinate, because if we're talking to the angels and they're operating on that ray of light, it's kind of like an area code that you're calling in on. So you call, but the area code, the country code, etc., would be the color of the candle if you're going to call in an angel, because it just helps a direct message to go through so much easier. So that's why we use colored candles in angel magic. But for Wicca, paganism, etc., this is a tool to help us concentrate on the actual energy in the spell that it is itself. So I'm going to call in the corners now to protect us. And then I'm going to light this candle for all of us. Now, as a Mabon is an ancient old Celtic pagan festival. Organized religion loved to take over. Organized religion loved to take over everything, right? But then they realized they couldn't take over Halloween, so they created All Saints Day. Because they realized that is just not happening for people. People still need their bonfires, they still need their pumpkins, etc. The turnips. Because I remember as a child, we didn't have pumpkins, so we would have to carve out turnips. So much hard, right? People complain about carving pumpkins, and I'm like, she should have been a child trying to carve out a turnip. It was intense. So we're going to have a Mabon, our harvest celebration now. So I have got my. So with that being said, I have got a goldstone here for us to coincide with everything. Goldstones are beautiful because they have like, I don't know if you can see it, they have like little sparkles. It does really. It has like little gold sparkles in it, which represent all the abundance for us. So we have that. And then I have a really nice piece of obsidian, which is black. And I've got this to represent grounding under the earth, not the root chakra, the earth chakra below our feet. So that's what we've got. That being said, I'm going to call in the quarters for us now. My fingers, because for some reason I have forgotten my incense. But remember this, know this. When someone points a finger at you, this is a magical weapon, right? People are like, don't put your finger at me. No, because when we're doing this and we're pointing our finger at people, this is to emphasize, this is to direct energy. This is like, if you can imagine when we're pointing our finger, if you can imagine electric light, if you could see it as a spark of lightning coming out from the end of your finger and you're pointing it, this is what's happening. This is frequency, vibration. These, these are powerful little tools as well. So don't ever forget that your body is a powerful tool. And if you are in meditation and you want to bring anything in, this is the mudra. The Italians got it right when they're talking. You know how like you see the Italians and they like this with their hands and they're emphasizing. This is bringing in and manifesting big time. So you're going into meditation this week. You know to use these like this. Hold them up when you're in meditation. Follow me. Some nice deep breaths. Center. Call upon the watchtowers of the north. Call upon the watchtowers of the north. The earth. Look after and protect us within this sacred space, this sacred circle. Call upon the watchtowers. We go clockwise. Remember, always clockwise. Those are the east. This is my east. And thank watchtowers for coming in to this sacred space to look after and protect us with the element of air. And the watchtowers of the south. Fire. Look after and protect us within this sacred space, this sacred circle we are creating here today. I call upon the watchtowers of the west, the water. Allow our emotions to flow fluidly through all upcoming days and times and to take care of us and protect us within this sacred space. Sacred circle. Created. Okay. We now know that we have created a magical barrier for ourselves from all corners. If you are going to do this from home, look on it as what you have created is a pitch tent, kind of like a teepee. A lot of people ask about the corners. It's kind of like creating a teepee. If you are now to go out of this space that has been created, you need to take an athame or a knife if you're doing serious candle magic or spell work. You need to take a knife and you need to slice through it and create a door. Walk out of the door, but when you do, you close it behind you. This is up here in your mind, in your third eye. Do this. And you can leave the space. But when you come back to your space, you use the athame again, and you use the knife to create a door to go back into. I am really going to do this as a webinar thing next time, I think. So we have that. So we should all be on the screen, and hopefully you can see me. With this being said, I'm going to anoint my candle. It's strange, isn't it? Definitely a webinar. Let me know in the messenger group if you want me to do this as a webinar, so then you can just ask questions as a comment. I think might be better. I have my candle here, and I am anointing it with my coconut oil. Hopefully you can see me, and hopefully it's just my screen that's gone a little strange. Can you still see me, Mira?
Yes, we can see you, but the picture is a little bit frozen.
Darling? It's very quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, the picture is a little bit frozen, but the picture is still there, but frozen.
I have the arrows to go side to side. To do that. Nope. Okay. For some reason, I seem to have lost myself on the screen. Okay, so I am anointing my candle. Definitely going to be a webinar next time so that you can see everything that's going on with comments. So I've ignited my candle with now we're living and learning with this. This is new for me. You know, but we're going to get there. If this kills me, I'm going to get there. And then it's going to be like just a video with comments. And then we're going to be able to. So I'll take a picture of my candle afterwards as well. Put it up in the messenger. I've put my candle in cinnamon. Folding it the paper. This is for abundance, for all that we're manifesting here today. This paper underneath the candle holder. Candle in the candle holder. We'll go in. That. Some nice deep breaths, and we close our eyes. because this is about harvest time. Take some nice breaths. Some nice breaths. I think you can see me now. You should be able to see me okay.
Now your picture is again frozen and somebody has mic on. We hear the doors and paper shuffling. I hear it anyways.
I don't know why it's so quiet either. I need to get a headset, like Mira said. We'll get this week. I've got it on order actually. I'm waiting for it to come. We're getting new equipment. We're getting lots of new things coming in. Because we've been manifesting like crazy. So because we're doing Goddess Diana and the cornucopia, we're going to call in Goddess Diana. We ask Goddess Diana to step forward with us here today. We ask Goddess Diana to step forward into a sacred space, a sacred circle that we have created here today. Goddess Diana, we say thank you for all the blessings, abundance, and the harvest. We thank you for bringing your cornucopia of wealth, abundance, all that we have planted last summer and spring comes to harvest and fruition now for us here today. We want to say thank you for this harvest that we are enjoying. Albeit it may be a little slow for us at the moment, but we thank you, Goddess Diana, for all of the abundance of the prayers of the manifestation that we seeded last spring and this summer. We thank you for the harvest of wealth, prosperity, jobs, love, relationships, people, friends, community, this sisterhood. We thank you for bringing this to harvest for us here today. We also plant the seeds that we are sowing for the fruition of the time that will come to harvest for us in the coming spring and summer of next year. We ask you, Goddess Diana, that some of these manifestations that we are creating here today are also come to fruition and abundance to our 3D world that we live in sooner, if possible, and to expedite it. I want you to sit for a moment and ask Goddess Diana for everything that you wish, all the seeds that you wish to plant right now, all like that you wish to manifest, all that you wish to come into your life. Plant those seeds now for later. And also take a moment to thank Goddess Diana for all the blessings that we are harvesting right now. For some people, it might not feel like a lot, but at the end of the day, when we have gratitude and we live in this moment and we feel joy, sorrow, happiness, everything in this moment right now, these are also gifts. And I've realized this, especially in this last week. We're so often given gifts. And we don't realize are a gift. We can be praised or we can be told something. We can take it in different ways as to how we want to accept these gifts of acknowledgement. And sometimes it may be really difficult to receive this gift. It may be really hard to receive it because it might not be a gift that we actually want. It might not be a gift that we feel that we need. It might be a gift that kind of hurts us deeply. It can cut us to the core. But when we sit with these and the feelings that it brings, we can learn so much from it. If we are told something that we feel hurt by, we always turn around usually and go, well, it's just them, it's them that has the problem, not me. Right? But if they say something to us, be it praise or something hurtful, we actually sit with it and treat it as a gift. It's amazing how much we can grow from it. There has been some things that I have struggled with in the past. I had problems accepting praise, and there was a few other things that I had problems accepting with. And it was kind of like, no, this makes me feel icky. I don't like it. I feel awkward. I feel self-conscious. Can you give this to somebody else? Do you really have to give me this praise right now? Because I just want to crawl out of my skin and hide somewhere on some of the things that I've done in the past. But this is it. When we love ourselves and somebody praises us for work that we've done or for something that we've helped somebody with, or there's different reasons, right? That somebody can come to you and say something, or they could say something really hurtful, and you go, why? If we don't immediately turn around and say, well, it's them, it's not me, it's got to be them, right? If we say, why did they say this? Because this is interesting, right? Why did they say? Because, like, for example, my mother used to say some incredibly hurtful things. And I used to think, well, maybe it is about me. Maybe it is all about me. But now I realize it's not. And it is actually about her. But that also gave me the gift that I don't want to be a narcissist or in pain like my mother. I don't want to be a person like her. So in that case, she then gave me that gift of, so then she would give me that gift of what not to be like. Let me know if this makes sense to you in the messenger chat later on. Because even when somebody's mean and nasty or feels cruel, it can be an immense gift for us. When somebody praises us and we go, oh, that was a brilliant thing that you did. You did a brilliant speech. You did a brilliant piece of work. That assignment you handed in was amazing. This was also helped us complete, so much more. When we understand that and we can accept it, it helps us as strong warrior women to grow. And then when we accept it and we understand it, then it also allows for other things to come in for us as well. So then we're looking at abundance and harvesting. So if we are accepting now these messages, these gifts of praise, etc., praise or validation or hurtful things, we go, this is a gift that I didn't have before. And therefore, with this gift, at harvest time, it's all about gifts from nature, from the universe, from the messages. When we understand that these help us grow so much more. I've had I don't know if any of you have had downloads recently, but the downloads have been amazing on moving forward. Help us get higher on our journey, to help us become authentic and aware. So while we're doing this, we just sit in silence. We sit in silence. And sorry, somebody's walking by with a radio. If you can hear that in the background of some music playing, I apologize. It's somebody playing some music, and it's hopefully they'll walk past through, because that's what they like, being in the wood. People walking dogs. So when we understand these gifts of harvest time, it's brilliant. It's potent. It's magical. It's so, it can become so deep for us. My candle doesn't want to stand up. I'm just making sure my candle wants to stand. Then I'm going to light it and set it for Goddess Diana. And we just sit for a moment quietly and say thank you for all the gifts that you've been given. You've been praised, what you've manifested in, etc. And just say thank you, because it's so much more than physicality. It's so much more than the car, the house, the 3D elements of living. You say thank you for this path, moving forward on an enlightened journey of becoming warrior within us. And healing so deeply and understanding the cut wounds of words said in heated arguments. This is all for us to grow. So we signed up for these contracts before we were born. And each year we are gifted and we say thank you for all the praise, the promotions, the new jobs, for the understanding, for the higher vibrations, for the deeper frequencies, for allowing us in this time to feel deeply grounded and rooted within ourselves. And for this, I light my candle. And I decide to want to stand. And I light it. And I say, thank you, Goddess Diana, for your whole cornucopia of gifts. Thank you. You might have been given something, a phrase, a comment, of self-love, self-worth, for you to move into something with ease, grace, and flow. I know I have this last week. Last week has been monumental for me. This last week I have not been well, but it's almost like going down into the dark depths and coming back out. Now it feels like a rebirth, rejuvenation through this harvest time, enjoying the fruits of all the labors. I light your candles and give your thanks. And with this, we close down the circle. As we have air in the wind picking up. We managed it this week. Like last Sunday, I got absolutely drenched and then I'm not well. So brilliant. It's cleansing. It's wonderful. Grounding. And with this, I will close out the circle. I call on the watchtowers of the north for looking after and protecting us within this sacred space, this sacred circle. I call upon the watchtowers of the west. I call upon the watchtowers of the west for protecting us within this sacred space, the sacred circle. Sorry, at the east. I got distracted. We had a dog running around. From the north, the east, yes, the south, the fire. We got the east, the west, the north, the south, the south. Goes down the sacred space, sacred circle. Brilliant. Take a nice deep breath. Next week we I do it in webinar style because I want it to be one screen only. Next week will be readings for October. And I'm doing it webinar style so that it can hold up a card and you'll be able to see the card that I'm holding up as I'm giving you readings next week. We can go into it deeply afterwards and you can comment. You'll be able to write comments like a webinar, and we can go through it that way. But I want everybody to have a reading this time for this month for October. Be landscaped. And we'll have all the comments there for people so that if you want to say something in the reading, you can. But I want all the readings, everybody's reading done next Sunday so that we can record it. You can go back over it. And if anybody cannot join, then they can come back and they'll be able to see their reading afterwards. I'm going to save this. This has been recording. We struggled through it. The next week will be a webinar style video, and then we can have a little chat afterwards on Messenger. I'm now going to end this recording, and then I'm going to call you on Messenger for 10 minutes to see if you've got any questions on what we did here today with Goddess Diana. Love you, sisters. Mwah. I'll be calling you in a couple of minutes on Messenger. Take care. Have an absolutely beautiful day. This is on your face. Mwah.